Hey guys, welcome to another video. My name is Dembele, and this is another Chelsea transfer news daily video for you guys, where I speak about 3 to 4 main topics: the striker situation and of course the left back situation regarding a swap deal. We're speaking about all the latest news and publications, give my thoughts, opinions on each story that I do speak about. But before I do get into it, make sure you subscribe, hit the bell notification, like my video if you do enjoy this, and also leave me your thoughts, opinions on each topic that I do speak about. And when I compare certain players, I want you guys to, leave me your thoughts, opinions. Who do you guys believe is better suited to Chelsea? Who do you think would be the better signing out of both of them? But before I do get into it, let's get straight into it. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Now, starting off with Timo Werner, the main man, of course. Now, how many times have we been linked to Timo Werner over the course 6 to 8 months? We've been linked to him on numerous occasions, especially in the January transfer window when we did officially make contact with his agent. Now, getting into what the actual report stated now, starting off with Sports Bild. Now, Sports Bild, a very reliable German publication. They are quite reliable. They've got a lot of news reports recently they've got a lot of them correct. And they're basically stating that Antonio Rudiger is trying to convince former teammate Timo Werner to come to London ahead of Liverpool and Manchester United, with Frank Lampard absolutely key. Now, we know that Frank Lampard's opinion is quite crucial in this sense. We know that Frank Lampard will have a lot of say in the future transfers. Now, the key with this one here is, do I see Werner being a realistic signing? Do I think we can sign Werner? And it matters on, and it really depends on the scenario. It really depends on multiple factors here, and Liverpool plays a massive part in this. Now, we should know by now that Chelsea is not his first primary choice. Now, we know for a fact, it's been well known, it's been well cited, that Timo Werner wants to make his move to Liverpool. It's no hidden secret. But of course, finances are a stumbling block. With the COVID-19 situation, with the coronavirus and the pandemic, and with lockdown, a lot of clubs have been hit hard financially, especially Liverpool. They haven't got a billionaire owner such as City or Chelsea, as we know, and they're more self-sufficient. And because they haven't got any revenue from match days, and they haven't got any, general revenue from, the TV money, etc., they won't be able to pay Timo Werner's full release clause. Now, yesterday I made a video regarding Timo Werner. It came up by the Mirror yesterday stating that Liverpool have pulled out of the race due to finances, that they are unable to afford Timo Werner's release clause of £55 million. Now, if you look at his actual market value, Timo Werner has a market value of £80 million, but with his release clause set at £50 to £55 million, for me, it's a bargain for the type of player that he is, the caliber of player that he is, what he can offer to a team, especially if he suits their style. Now, if you look at this type of style you would suit, I don't think he'd perfectly fit Chelsea's style. Would have to change our game a little bit just to accommodate him. I think it suits Liverpool a lot more with their gegenpress, their counter-pressing, the way they operate as the front three. Timo Werner is a very versatile type of goal scorer. He can play on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, but he predominantly plays down that middle where he uses pace to get in behind. He utilises that space in the final third. He's clinical at finishing, he's got good link-up play, and his stats show for it. Now, so far this season in the Bundesliga, he's had 30 games, 16 goals, 7 assists, only 1 in the car, so his discipline is quite good, which is quite important for me. Having 23 goals and assists in 30 appearances is quite a phenomenal record. It shows he's clinical, he's a prolific goal scorer, and for me that would be greatly beneficial to this team. The issue we have with this team is a lack of ability to finish those chances, to score a lot of goals. We create a vast amount of chances. You can see in the XG, our expected goals, when we create from midfield, when we create from the right flanks. You've got Pulisic and Hudson-Odoi who are our creators, but when you haven't got a striker that can finish it in, he'd give great competition to Tammy Abraham. Push Tammy Abraham to become the best player they can possibly be, and for me, it wouldn't be a bad move. Now, like I said, he wouldn't be Chelsea's first choice, but if we put in a lucrative offer, nice wages, and we obviously activate the release clause of £55 million, and we can promise him selling the available project, I don't see why Timo Werner wouldn't join Chelsea. Now, getting into the second striker, which is why I'll be making the comparison, is Moussa Dembele from, of course, Lyon, another striker that we've been heavily linked with in the January transfer window, and the rumours have resurfaced again. Now, all the reports stating is that, according to L'Equipe, a French publication, Moussa Dembele is being linked to Chelsea once again. They say that his valuation has dropped to £45 million and that the striker fits the profile that Lampard is looking for. Now, before I compare the two, before I give my thoughts on Moussa Dembele, let me get into the scenario here. Now, obviously, as I've mentioned, because of the coronavirus situation, lockdown, Lyon are another club that are going to be hit hard financially, as well as numerous amount of clubs. Now, obviously, Ligue 1 has obviously ended, and not going to be restarted or continuing Ligue 1. As a result, Lyon have finished 9th I believe, in League One, Ligue 1 in the French league, and that obviously means no European football. Now, European football is pivotal for a club like Lyon. They're not backed by a billionaire owner. Again, they're another one of these clubs that are self-sufficient. They're notorious for having an arrogant owner, but an owner that is hard to negotiate with, but also he's not a billionaire. So Lyon is essentially self-sufficient, it's self-run. Whatever money they make, they pump back into the club. So that includes match day revenue, TV money, etc. And because they haven't got that European football to pay those top wages, to essentially purchase new players, they're going to have to make sales, essentially balance the books, and also because they haven't got that European money, they have to get funds and revenue somehow. Hence why Moussa Dembele's valuation has dropped to £45 million. Now, before this pandemic, his valuation was between £60 and £70 million. He's a 23-year-old. We know his capabilities. We know his attributes. He's fast. He fits Lampard's system perfectly with his link-up, his physicality, the Premier League experience that he brings, and he'd provide perfect competition for Tammy Abraham in that number 9 position. He's got nice link-up play, great operation in the half spaces, nice movement, nice link-up. Obviously, and he's got a lot of goals, which is an added bonus. I think it definitely bolster our attack. And the question I want to ask you guys, the question I'm posing to you guys is, who would you rather have at Chelsea? Who do you think fits us better, Timo Werner or Moussa Dembele? Give me your reasoning as why. Let's look at the valuation. Timo Werner, Moussa Dembele, exactly the same age. Timo Werner will cost around £55 million, whereas Moussa Dembele, looking according to Liquid, around £45 million. Who would you rather, Chelsea, and why? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But moving on to other news, and that does regard Jorginho and Emerson, our two Italian duos. And it has been reported by Corriere dello Sport, an Italian publication, that talks are underway between Chelsea and Juventus regarding the Italian side interest in Jorginho and Emerson. The mention of Miralem Pjanic is still being thrown about, as I mentioned in previous videos, but as we are aware, Chelsea not interested in any sort of deal for Miralem Pjanic. Now, this does throw a spanner in the works because, as we know, because of the COVID situation, player swap deals are going to be highly likely in this window. And if Chelsea are not interested in Pjanic, then the only way Juventus will be able to secure Jorginho is simply by cash. Now, will Juventus have enough money to make this purchase, and how desperate are Juventus for Jorginho? It's a case of how desperate they are. Now, he is Chelsea's vice captain. Lampard does rate him highly. He sees him as one of Chelsea's best players. Jorginho is happy in London, despite what his agent Sandro is coming out. He's coming out with conflicted interviews all the time that, yes, he has 3 years left of his contract. Yes, he is happy in London, but it's possible he could make a return back to Italy, and one day he will. He's happy in London. Lampard rates him. He's our vice captain, and he's one of our crucial players to this team. And I've known for a fact, and we've known for a while, that we will not be selling Jorginho easily. We'll be reluctant to sell him. And so, with us not being interested in Pjanic, I don't see how Jorginho does leave in the summer window. Now, Emerson is a different story. Emerson, he feels as though he's homesick. He does want to make a return to Italy, and we are on the hunt for a left back. If a good offer comes with Emerson, I'm sure that we will consider it and take that offer. Now, Alexandro is being thrown around. Links and names are being thrown around. Now, Alexandro, we know the deal fell through in 2016, 2017 when we were heavily linked for him. Was one of the best left backs in Europe at the time, was a world-class left back, an elite fullback, and of course his form has dropped ever since, but he is still in his prime. He's fast, he's quick, he's a big name, and he's still one of Europe's best fullbacks. And for me, I'll definitely take him. He definitely improved that left-hand side. But the main question is, would Juventus take a straight swap between Emerson and Alexandro? Would you guys take Alexandro at Chelsea, or do you think Alexandro is finished? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. And also, there are other left-back targets that we are targeting, such as Alex Telles, Tagliafico, Benjamin Chilwell, etc. Alexandro is not the first choice at this moment in time, so I don't see how this would work. I can definitely see a swap deal between Emerson and Alexandro, but between Pjanic and Jorginho, I don't see it being realistic because Chelsea is simply not interested in Pjanic, and unless Juventus offer straight cash for Jorginho, I don't see how Jorginho leaves Chelsea in this summer window, especially in the midst of a pandemic. But that is just my thoughts, opinions. I want you guys to leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. Do you think we should sell both Jorginho and Emerson for potentially Sandro and Pjanic, or do you think that we need to be keeping both of them and potentially sell Emerson just for cash and then sign one of our top left back targets? I want to hear what you guys think as well. And also on the striker target, who would you rather have, Moussa Dembele or Timo Werner, considering their prices, their ages, what they've done this season, their statistics, and of course how they suit our system. Werner being versatile, can play all across that front three, but Moussa Dembele suiting our style a bit better. And of course, I want you guys' opinion on Alex Sandro. Do you think they'd still cut it at Chelsea? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comments below. But if you did enjoy this video, to smash the like button, subscribe to my channel if you are not here. Make sure to hit the notification for every time I upload. And I'll see you guys for my next video. Peace.